to Dark Cable Tutorials. Sorry I've been away, I've actually been quite ill. But in the meantime I've actually redone the start of my videos and I'm using different software to composite them, I guess. Composite? Yeah. Anyway, I hope you like the changes and do my new intro. So let's get started. Today's lesson will be on beveling and solid line. This is your standard cube and this is how it appears in a render. The lines are they're very straight but they're very dull. This is the final form. This is completely beveled and solid lined. And these are bevels, and solid line. No, my mistake. Solid line, bevel, stronger bevel, and that's the final. Sorry about that. Right. Now why is that? Let's start a new scene. No, I don't want to save. Anyway, let's get ourselves a plane. Remember, just hold the X key. You can snap it along the grid. There we go. And make yourself a cube. If you don't know how to do this, go back and watch the previous tutorials from episode 1 all the way to this episode. Make that bigger. There we go. Right. Beveling. You may have seen it. Ooh, there's my phone. You may have seen it in my gold tutorial when I bevel some gold, but here's the actual tutorial on it. Let's go up to Edit Mesh and let's go down to Bevel and click the little ticky box. Right, the width is the spacing in which the segments are placed. So it's very wide and you have very few segments, there'll be a massive gap when you get like a rounded edge. Let's just try that. So let's put it here as 1 and let's give it 2 segments. Okay. I don't use anything else. These are the two you really got to be paying attention to. Apply. Oh dear. That might have been a little bit too big. So basically what it's done, if I undo that, right, if I push 3 on the cube as it is, it's just a cylinder. All the bevel's done is it made it slightly a more rigid cylinder. Okay, let's just decrease the width there. At 0.5. Let's try that again. It's becoming more cube shaped as the gap in which the segments are being placed is getting smaller. Let's try again. Let's try 0.2. Let's try 0.2. And I'll do this before I click apply it, or else if you click it again it will make the segments within segments. Let's apply that again and we have a more cubular shaped object there. So let's do some tests here. Say we have the width at 5. Let's increase the segments to, I don't know, 4. Like I did with the gold. Apply. As you can see, the amount of bevel completely changes. If you want a really solid line, you have to decrease this completely. So I put this as 2. I put segments as 4. The line's getting more solid. Don't do that, and let's increase the segments to 8. Apply. As you can see, you can see the edge more clearly now. Let's decrease the width again to 0.1. Let's do this and apply. You're getting the gist of it, really. You can decrease this all the way down to, I'm guessing, 0.001. Let's just try that just for a laugh, shall we? Apply, don't crash. Oh, it's done something, but I don't know what it's done. Okay, let's be sensible. Let's do 0.01. And let's say 4 segments. As you can see, the line is extremely sharp now. That's a very fine bevel. Alright, that's all there is on beveling. Let's go over to solid line. Close that. If you didn't get any of that, just rewind the video. Anyway, let's go over to solid line. Go to Edit Mesh, and you need your insert edge loop tool. It's very similar to beveling this, except you do it by hand, so you pretty much know exactly what kind of result you're going to get first time. Unlike beveling, where you have to mix and match different settings and you have to keep trying trial and error, this way you know exactly what you're going to get. So remember, you got to do top, width, and finally height. There you go. And you have to do this on all sides. So top, width and height. Is that one done? Yep. This one isn't. Like so. So you can see I've added lines all the way. Oh, like you. Oh, with the exception of here. So add that in there. Oh, and we're missing here. As you can see, I've added 3 different lines. One going down, one going across, and one going from side to side. So you got X, Y, and Z. Right, let's smooth that now. Press 3, and as you can see, solid line straight away. Although you can increase the geometry of this cube, putting it back in 1. Mode 1. Okay. By just adding insert edge loop tools like so. As you can see, I've just given it some more geometry. Or else the computer has to... It's more rounded if there's less geometry. Giving it more geometry gives it more of a square appeal. And finally, let's talk about segmentation. I hate that word. I hate that word so much. To segment a cube, you have to go into the attributes editor. Oh, sorry, channel box. Oh, it's not my day. Anyway, you go down to inputs. This is the channel box. This little button here. Go into inputs and click polycube 1. Then you have subdivision width, subdivisions height, subdivision depth. Let's just change those to, I know, 10. 10. 10. And as you can see, it's equally divided the cube. We'll push 3 on it now. It's not got the sharpest edge, although it does help. The more segments you get, the sharper the edge you'll get. So if I get back into here and say I put 20. Don't do this if you want to have a very low poly count. The more subdivisions you add, the more poly count you get. Smooth with 3, and you see the edge is getting slightly sharper. Not the greatest idea though, because it adds a load of faces, which you probably don't want if you're trying to make something professionally, because it'll make everything slow down and render times will be horrendous. Anyway, as you can see, I'm a bit better now. My spirits have been lifted. But that's it for this tutorial. I'll be doing a few more tutorials hopefully today, and that's me. Good afternoon.